That's what this is all about. It's all about money.
There's a huge problem with our justice system that you've probably never heard about. Millions of Americans currently have their driver's licenses suspended due to court fines and fees that they are unable to pay. This punishment for poverty leads to lost jobs and endless cycles of debt that trap working class people in the criminal justice system.
It's happened more than once.
I used to be a drug dealer, and they gave me 4 years in prison. And they suspended my license and gave me, I think it was a $15,000 fine. In order to reinstate my license, I gotta pay a fee of $289.
If you get out of jail and you don't have what it is that you need to pay, it might make someone likely to resort back to the life of crime that led them into jail in the first place. And that's extremely problematic. It's a circle that is vicious.
So how do these license suspensions work? Across the country, courts fine people to punish them for crimes and charge them court fees that then fund the criminal justice system. When a person can't pay, they often have their driver's license suspended.
You gotta pay. You gotta pay the court costs. I had a public defender, so I had to pay a fee for that. And you don't realize that you're being charged these fees.
Let's say that someone is driving and a police officer picks up that they're speeding and they get pulled over for a speeding ticket. They have substance abuse disorder, and he discovers a small amount of fentanyl in the car. They take a plea offer to a misdemeanor possession of drugs, and they get sentenced to low-level probation, substance abuse evaluation, and court costs. If you have money, you pay that off, and you don't get it on your record, and it's done. If you do not have money, you get put on a payment plan. If you miss one of those payments, most of the courts in Delaware then automatically suspend your driver's license. A lot of times people don't know their driver's license is suspended, so they then continue driving, and then to really play this out, often get pulled over for, let's say, another speeding ticket, and then turns into a more serious offense of driving on a suspended license.
A vast majority of Americans drive themselves to work. Losing a license over an unpaid fine can quickly lead to the impossible choice of losing a job or driving on a suspended license.
One time, my license was taken away without me even knowing. Like, I didn't even know. Yeah, when I was working down at the docks, and this was recently. This was like a couple years ago. I want to say like 2019. I didn't even know that my license was suspended, and I'm working down there, driving vehicles and all that. But they suspended my license for like failure to appear, not being at court when I needed to be. And they tell you that your license is suspended, and your job is predicated on you having a license, and you know all of a sudden that you've been breaking the law basically at work because your license is suspended. You're like, wow, I'm a criminal again. I'm doing the wrong thing and I didn't even know.
There's a national movement to end license suspensions over failure to pay debt. 22 states and D.C. have made reforms to license suspensions in the past 5 years. Last year, U.S. Senators Chris Coons of Delaware and Roger Wicker of Mississippi reintroduced legislation to incentivize states to stop debt-based license suspensions. But more than half of U.S. states are still using this harmful and counterproductive punishment. Fight for change is currently taking place in President Joe Biden's home state of Delaware, where a bill working its way through the legislature would end debt-based license suspensions and eliminate a series of court fees that force people into debt in the first place.
In the first half of 2018, there were 129 people imprisoned in Delaware just for failure to pay fines and fees in misdemeanor cases. And the average amount owed on that was less than $500 for each of those people. On average, a year, it's about 20,000 driver's licenses suspended just for failure to pay. And just to put that in perspective, there are less than 1 million people in the state of Delaware.
Delaware's House Bill 244 is currently being considered by the state legislature. If passed, it could change the lives of countless people with license suspensions. It could also build momentum to end debt-based license suspensions nationwide.
I would like to, have my license and, take care of my family and do things for other people, like people have been doing for me since I've been out of prison.